Good afternoon. I'm Tim Wood. Many of you know me as editor of the Cape Cod Chronicle, but I also run Chatham Walks, a 90-minute historic walk through downtown Chatham. Today I'm going to highlight one intersection in downtown where we can see several historic buildings, the corner of Main Street and Chatham Bars Avenue. We're going to start with the Brick Block building. This building was built in 1914. It's a two-story Tudor Revival arts and crafts style building. Now, 1914 was a pretty big year in Chatham. The Marconi wireless station was built on Riders Cove, and Chatham Bars Inn was built as well. The Brick Block building was designed by Harvey Bailey Alden, who also designed Chatham Bars Inn. And it just so happens that Charles Hardy and Associates, who built Chatham Bars Inn, also built this modern block of shops and flats on the corner just down the road from the inn. Initially, it housed the Chatham Trust Company and the post office with apartments on the second floor. For many years, this corner was the de facto center of town. While the post office was here, it was known as Post Office Square. The building is distinctive for its decorative brickwork, which was done by a man named Joseph Nickerson, ironically, who was an Englishman who was brought over specifically to do this work. There are a number of different patterns of brickwork in the building: herringbone, tiered arches, English bond, and it also has a slate roof and 5 brick chimneys. It's one of the largest buildings in downtown Chatham, and there are still apartments on the second floor, and it's also one of several buildings in downtown Chatham that are on the National Register of Historic Places. Now we're going to cross the street and look at the Ziba Nickerson House, which now houses the Artful Hand Gallery. Now, this is distinctive because it was an early communications center in Chatham. It was built in 1853 by Ziba Nickerson, who had a general store there, and it was also his home. And he was actually postmaster for 20 years, and this was the post office. His son William later also served as the postmaster. Now, Ziba was someone you'd say was an early adopter of technology. In 1855, he installed the first telegraph in town here, and he became the Chatham telegraph operator, a position he served in for many years. Now, the building used to have a tower on the top, and Ziba had a telescope in the tower where he would watch as ships passed Chatham off of Monomoy, and he would telegraph to the shipping offices in Boston or New York about their ships' locations. Now, the tower, unfortunately, was destroyed in the hurricane in 1944. Ziba was such a dedicated telegrapher that he had an additional key installed in his dining room so he wouldn't miss any messages. In 1883, he had the town's first telephone switchboard installed in this building, so you can see it was a real communications hub. And on his 78th birthday, Ziba was honored as the oldest active telegrapher in the state. We're going to go down the street just a little ways to the Mayflower shop. This Queen Anne-style building was built in 1885 by Marcus Howard, who was a tailor. He grew up just down the street at the children's shop, and he not only had his tailor shop here, but he sold furnishing goods and other clothing. In 1918, Charles Smallhoff, a photographer, moved his Mayflower photography studio here from across the street in the Brick Block, and that's possibly how it got its name. Now, the exterior was modified with a new front area in 1925. By then it was known as the Mayflower Shop, and it was a variety store where you could buy basically almost anything. Newspaper ads in the 1930s show greeting cards, records, shotgun shells, dog leads, pens, megaphones. It was a general store for the town. Well, that's all we're going to go through today. If you're interested in a Chatham walk, I'm going to be doing them by appointment this summer. Watch for ads in the Chronicle, or you can call me at 508-737-5646. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of the tour.